What up guys, this is Kong and today I'm back again for another movie review for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about Ready Player One. Directed by Steven Spielberg. The cast is Ty Sheridan, Olivia Cook, Ben Mendelsohn, Simon Pegg, and others in this movie. Excuse me. This movie is one of the few highly anticipated movie for me. I want to let you guys know that I actually watched this movie once in the Adobe Theater, which I highly recommend you go watch because it will immerse you in the world more so than the IMAX theater. When I compared the two, well, let me talk about that later in the movie review. Let's get to it. I'm gonna talk about the pros and the cons about Ready Player One and my thoughts, and then my comparison between the Adobe theaters and the IMAX theater because I watched it twice. The first time I watched it with my two brothers, and then once at the IMAX by myself. So let's start with the pros. I have a lot of pros with this movie because it's a good, entertaining movie. So let's get to it. All right. The whole freaking movie is an adventure, a wonderful adventure at that. That's what I want from a movie. It's an adventure, a ride, a roller coaster. That's what I'm looking for when I'm watching a movie. Plot and twists, and that's what I'm looking for too. So this movie really delivered on that adventure for me. Now, the race sequence is pumped full of adrenaline and you feel like a rush. I love that. And that's what races are supposed to be. It's full of adrenaline, full of sounds, full of speeds and everything. Wonderful. I love the horror sequence, The Shining. The scores, the look, everything was so beautifully recreated for our cast. And unfortunately for one of our main character, Age is scared of horror and he experienced for the first time. It's so beautifully done. I didn't think that would turn out great in this movie, but they pull it off. Kudos to the directors, the writer, and the CGI team, the visual effect team. You guys did a great job. The climactic sequence was crazy and it put a smile on my face. And that's saying a lot. Not a lot of movie put a smile on my face. Most movies don't. But this movie really made me grin, make me happy to see on the green screen. You get to see King, you get to see Gundam in the final action, you get to see Mechagodzilla, you get to see so many intellectual properties in the movies itself that it's just so well done. It's so beautiful. Iron Giants in the fight, the climactic fight, it was just beautifully well done. It's just that's the kind of climactic that I'm looking for, that I seek. That I want all movie to have is a peak and it comes down. That's what I'm looking for, and this executed perfectly. The story is clear and simple for us at the audience to follow, and that's what I like about movies. That it should be simple, clear and simple for us to follow, but yes, they'll be complex at the same time. We follow these characters through his journey and his group of friends. And then there's a puzzle they have to solve. That's simple and easy to understand. The goal is clear for our protagonists, and it's clear also for our antagonists. Our protagonists have to solve the three puzzles to get to to win the Oasis, inherited the ownership of the Oasis, and then the antagonist is doing the same thing, trying to be in the way of the protagonist, or try to take out the protagonist out of the story. So you see the clash, you see the races, you see the goal. So So that is clear and simple. Going back to what I was saying earlier. The sound effect of everything in this movie is so beautifully done, especially in the Adobe Theater. Wow, you hear everything. Everything is well mixed. Everything is really distinctive, really well put together in a scene. So beautifully done. The Oasis is rich and vibrant and beautiful, beautifully recreated. It's not how I would imagine, but wow, they really nailed it. It's really beautiful. It made me want to go there and experience it for myself. Well done. The cinematography is seamlessly. You can't even tell you're moving scene to scene. That's the beauty. That's the magic, that you are in it without actually realizing that you've already gone through the next scene. The three puzzles are unique and important to the creator of the movie and to us as an audience, us as a non-gamer and gamer alike. And that's what I really like about this movie, because it speaks to almost all people of all ages, of interests, particularly in gaming or not in gaming. And I like that this director really tried to hit the nail with that, the hammer to the nail with that. I really like that. Olivia and Ty Sheridan were great in their role. The chemistry feel real, they are matchful together. Each characters are distinct in look, design, and personality. And that's what I like, because they're so different and unique from each other. Like us human, we are different in look and personality and character manner, really reflective of the real world. And I like that a lot. The whole cast did a wonderful voiceover. They all executed perfectly. They're still them, and that's what I like. Lena Wyatt act as voice as H, and Helen, she did a wonderful job, and I look forward to more of her work in the future in virtual, in voiceover, or in live action or live movies. She did a really good job. TJ Miller is I-Rock. He really rocked that character. He did the character justice, and I really enjoyed his character a lot. Even though he was a bad guy, I still like him. And that's the thing, is that there's certain villain that you hate, but you still like the villain. You not appreciate, but you still like the villains for their motivation and their reason. Kind of like a Killmonger. And I like I-Rock's personality and his motivation and his personality. Well done. Simon Pegg, Oregon Morrow. We didn't quite see him toward the end. I wish, and he was also the library curator. I did not know that they had that twist. And I'm like, oh, I see. Well, he was there all along, and Parzival never knew about it. There are funny moments throughout the movie, and that's what I like about this movie, because the funny moments are well punctuated, are well spread out to the movie, that it keep us along for the ride, in the ride, and on an adventure. That these funny moments make us laugh and enjoy the movie a little bit more. That's what I really like. So many IP, intellectual properties, so many references, music reference, pop culture reference, so many in there that I may not even picked up the first 2 times seeing this movie. You see Iron Giant, obviously. You get to see Thriller. They mentioned Duran. They mentioned the suit. I can't remember, the Rubik Cube. There you get to see the DeLorean, the Akira bike, King Kong. Chucky. I love the Chucky sequence. You see Goro, from Mortal Kombat and Alien. That sequence was so beautifully done. It showed Olivia and Artemis' personality. I love that sequence. It's one of my favorite moments of hers. And there's a next sequence after that too, but that moment was so beautifully done. Star Trek, Terminator, Mechagodzilla, Gundam, Street Fighter, and so other properties that are in there don't have any script, but they're there. They're in the movie. It's so beautifully done. It's kind of like this movie is. It's just so beautifully done. So it gave me hyped up just talking about it. I really enjoy this movie a lot. I really do. It have a spot in my heart. It's a spot on my shelf for sure. The core message is about the difference between the virtual world and the real world. Spending time with people. The real world is what it really matters. Because in the real world is where real people exist, and is where you can get a decent meal, like the owner of the Oasis actually say, that it's important to spend time with people outside of the Oasis, outside of the virtual world, because the real world is what really matters. And I like that message. Spielberg did a really wonderful job with that. Overall, I'm more than happy about this movie. Now let's get to the con. The con is just me being really nitpicky. Okay, guys. Overall, this movie is a wonderful movie. It's entertaining. It's an adventurous movie for me. I truly enjoyed it. I went on for a ride. I went on an adventure, and I enjoy. It's a short race at the beginning. I wish it was a little bit longer for me to salivate it. But it was sweet, it was brisk, it was sweet, it was quick, brief, cinematic. So kudos to Spielberg for delivering a sweet, fast, memorable race, especially with King Kong. Awesome. Hannah as Neo Xander, she's a little bit over the top, but it didn't bother me because she was just a secondary character, so it didn't bother me. I was like, fine. I know some people who are like that, who take their job seriously, so it didn't bother me. But it's just something that I want to pick out for you guys. The fight between Sorrento and Wade, it was a little brief, a little short. I wish it was a little bit longer, just to kind of see the fight. I want to see it. I want to see more fight of them. But overall, the fight was sweet, short, cinematic. That's how you should do it in every movies. If you need to cut it short, make it sweet and cinematic and memorable for us, the audience, to remember. Yeah, I remember that sequence. I remember that scene. That's how you want people to remember. A little screen time for Sho and Daito. I wish it was a little bit longer for them, to kind of see them in the action, to see more of their personality and where they come from. Just a little bit more. That's what I wanted to see. The time that we see them was so short that to me it feels a little dishonest to the dishonor to the book. But it didn't bother me to the point where I'm pissed off. But I wish we as an audience get to see a little bit more of them. So my overall thought about this movie, I'm glad that it didn't follow the book per se, but they still kept the essence of the book. The problems and the issues and all of that is still in the movies, and they had to conform it to 2.5 hours to be entertaining, be an adventure, be a ride for us, the audience. So I say, Steven Spielberg, you did a wonderful job. you deserve all the money, because you did a wonderful job. You pay, this movie is like an homage or a tribute to the gamer and non-gamer alike. And that's what he did in this movie. He paid respect to gamer in all genres. So that's what I really like, because he himself is a gamer and he understands where gamers are coming from. And that's what I like about this movie, is that this director really dive into the mind of a gamer and a non-gamer. And as a director, how did he build this world for us at the audience to be involved, to be in it. And that's where this movie really excelled. We are fully immersed in this world. For me, at least, I was in the movies. I was walking with the characters. So I really enjoyed it. So I give this movie a rating of 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I highly recommend you go watch it in the Adobe theaters. Don't go watch at the IMAX theater, because the sound effect, there's so many sound effects in this movie that you should watch it in the Adobe theater, because the sound effect will put you in the movie, will immerse you in the movie so much more than the IMAX theater. The IMAX theater is basically for the visuals, and it lacked the sound. And the Adobe theater did a wonderful job. I've actually watching the two, experience the two back to back. I actually personally prefer the Adobe theater over the IMAX. For me, I am a cinephile or audiophile. Despite me being hard of hearing, I love music and I love sound effect and I love hearing, because I don't take sound for granted. And the Adobe theater is a must-see for this movie, because you will be immersed. I guarantee you, you'll be immersed. And when you go watch the IMAX, you're like, wow, all that sound effect is missing, or it's not pronounced as the Adobe theater. So I highly recommend you go watching at the Adobe theater. You will enjoy, you will be part of the movie, you will be part of the adventure. So that is the end of my review of Ready Player One. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. And also, I almost forgot, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and also press that bell button, so therefore you will get a notification that I have uploaded a video for you to check out. Help me help you. And most importantly, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time and effort to watching my movie review, even though they may be long or short at time. I really appreciate it. Then finally, take care, guys. Bye bye.